But something that really stuck out to me, and I know this is personal to you, is the Artist and Gig Workers Bill of Rights.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that before, so I'm curious. Tell me what that is.
Yeah, well, I will give some insight on the entirety of the platform first. So when I decided to run, I didn't want to build a platform. I was like, I really, my whole thing is about including the people in the process. And what I really wanted to do was include the people in the process of actually developing the platform that we want. But through the process, the beginning days of it, everybody was like, no, you need a platform. Like, I want to see a platform. Like, where's your platform? So I was like, fuck, now I really gotta like do something. So the idea was about you, like you said, it's common sense things that we all have been asking for, and that's exactly the idea. Is we have been asking for these things for far too long. No more asking from healthcare to housing to getting money out of politics, all of it. We need it done. No more asking for this type of stuff. So that's kind of was the idea of formulating what I have on my platform was about just doing what we want.
Mhm.
Stop, no more asking for it. But the Artist and Gig Workers Bill of Rights is something that is super personal to me as an artist and as somebody that has done a ton of gig work. Also, as AI takes over everyone's job and people resort more to artistry and to gig work, we need these workers to have protections. And the idea is just extending our regular Bill of Rights for regular workers, or for everyday workers, to include artists and gig workers. Make sure they have OSHA protection. Make sure that they're and all of the other policies on it kind of play into each other. Like the healthcare definitely goes into covering that. So there's areas of that that's just like making sure that gig workers aren't catching asthma attacks and dying because they can't afford an asthma pump or whatever the case is. So all of them kind of play into each other to build off of each other to have a system that functions for people. And that's just kind of the idea is to make sure that, as AI takes all of our jobs, that we have protections for all these people.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's the one that I feel the closest to. And out of everything on the platform, that was the one that like I wrote myself and that I was like, I want this. I need like this is, and I do promote it at the like the top of a lot of things that when I talk about the platform.
Yeah.
The Artist and Gig Workers Bill of Rights is something that I kind of always am like, I got to make sure I mention this,
I
because
could
I
tell when
love
I
it.
read it that it was personal to you. I could
Yeah,
tell that this was something that was really important to you, which is
yeah.
why it stood out to me, and resonated with me. And I think it's great.
Yeah, and
And,
we're in New
and
York City. It's all artists and gig workers here.
Yeah.
And it's
right,
also like,
and
go
oh,
ahead.
my bad. Yeah, yeah. I was gonna say like because reason why I relate to it is that I've never had a full-time job.
Mm,
Like I said, graduated out of the recession, still have never had a full-time job. I'm an independent contractor for different TV companies, and so a company has never paid for my health care, paid for my 401k. I've had to set
mhm.
those things up for myself. And that was why, having the Affordable Care Act was so crucial for me early on when I got off of my parents' health insurance. It really picked
Yeah,
me up because when you get into this gig economy, there are no benefits. You
no,
are on your own, and so
yeah.
a gig worker's bill of rights is something that
I knew you were
when
going to
Howard
love
just
this
said
one, Seth.
it just like the spark went off.
Yeah.
And I was like, yes,
Hmm.
because when you get out, I mean, when you get out of college, there's no guarantees out here. This isn't
Nope.
America 1975. There's a job waiting for you if you have a college degree. You're gonna have to hustle. You're gonna have to make it work. So, man, yeah, we need protections for gig workers and people like us.
Yeah. No, I definitely love it. Another thing that like sparked my love for that particular thing is watching the NYPD consistently throw away like vendors fruit and vegetables that are on the street. Like there's nothing that I hate more than seeing just like somebody trying to make it through the day and then just the NYPD is just rounding up all their stuff and just throwing fresh fruit and vegetables away. Like it's infuriating.
Yeah.
And it's like there's nothing that like hurts me more than seeing that. Like it really does get to me on a very deep level. And it's part of why like I also like continuously like despise the NYPD. It's just there's no need to like do anything like that. There's a
Yeah.
like because they don't have what a permit or a license or something to sell fruit. Like what you're gonna throw away their whole thing? You could just tell them to pack up. But whatever, it doesn't even matter. These people
Yeah.
just need to protect it, and that just needs to not happen. Like
Right.
that's just what it is.
I agree.